Well, hello everybody, welcome to the channel. This video is about this LS2 helmet. This is the FF396-19. Right, so this helmet here has been my main helmet for quite a few years now. I've had it since 2017, so it's been quite a while that I've owned this lovely piece of technology here. And LS2 is a helmet producer from where else but China, and it is towards the budget end of helmets. As you can see, I don't know if you can see, but it is dirty as there's bugs all over it. There's bugs over the visor. Underneath here, it's, you can see my disgusting sweat marks, and it is a well-used helmet. So I was in the market for a helmet after a little accident that I had, and I wanted to buy a full face helmet, of course, because I will never ever wear a open face helmet again after my accident, because on my helmet, my previous helmet, this is the only part here that was fully scratched after my accident, and had that not been there, it would have been my jaw, and I did not want that. So yeah, I'm definitely only wearing full face helmets from now on. So this is the LS2 Tron shape design. I think you can get other models with this particular design in terms of the graphics, but this is an FF396. I have a feeling they have updated this helmet since I bought it. They now make the FF396 in a carbon, and like a large weave carbon, and this has sort of been superseded in a way, but you can still buy this particular type as well with the non-carbon. So what does the LS2 have for it? Well, the first thing is I have a buffy round head, and as soon as I put the LS2 on, it just felt really nice. It kind of, I have a sort of a feeling, like on the back of my head, it kind of sat really nicely on the back of my head, and was pretty close at the front as well. There wasn't a lot of gaps, where in some of the more cheaper helmets that I've had, like the Aldi helmet that I also own, there's a lot of space at the front here and much bigger overall. The FF396 is a sort of helmet that's more compact and will sit nicely around your head rather than be a huge bubble as some of the cheaper helmets. So for the price point, I think excellent. You can buy them quite cheap. I'm not going to tell you exactly how much they are, because there are all sorts of different pricings on different websites. So I'll let you look at that. What I will say is you can buy them on AliExpress. Okay, so first and foremost, let's have a look at the features of this helmet. And it has a lovely modern shape. So it's got this sort of arched sort of front here, where the front drops off a little bit. It has a side clicky visor. It's the only visor I've ever had for it. It's pretty good. Like, it has a opening here. I like my helmets with a slightly, like a small opening slot as well. This one doesn't have it, but that's your first position, second position, third. 1, 2, 3. Has a quick release system here. The FF396 also has an internal visor. So I can just show you here, it has a little button here, and all you do is click that up, and it pops down, and you push it back up. It's very simple to operate. Sometimes a little bit fiddly because it's near this mounting point, but most of the time I've got no problems with pulling it up and down. It's not a bad visor. Yeah, it's pretty good. And as you can see, when it drops, it does drop quite low onto where you've got that breathing deflector just at the front here. So it does have a nice modern version of that as well. Sometimes it does pop out, but nothing major. All right, so let's have a quick look at the vents in this thing. So it has a front vent here, just a one big one that you can just push up and down, and has two at the top. You'll see it there. It sort of pushes back like this. And for summer, it's currently pretty cold, so I've got them closed. And then at the back, you also have a vent here. Right, some LS2 helmets do not have a active revent. It just passive sits there open the whole time. This one you have the option of up and down, and you pay a slight premium for that. This one still has the D buckles, and I don't mind, it's a bit old school. I do prefer the new ones, but this one came with this, and it hasn't been a huge issue for me, but yeah, I do like the new versions a lot better. One thing that the LS2 also has, so if you look closely here, you'll see that it has a little pump here that you can pump up, and what it does is it pumps air into these two little pockets that pushes the padding against your chin more, so it's a more tighter fit. I've used it a couple of times where I've like on a windy day, or if I'm going to be doing a lot of head turning, like riding through the city, I have pumped it up a couple of times, and then there's like a little button here you just press and it reduces it back down. That's it. Great little feature just to, you know, sometimes these pads become old and really flimsy, and so the fact that you can actually pump it up a little bit to, you know, get a little bit more extra life out of the helmet, I think that's really awesome. One of the things that caught my attention when I went helmet shopping is the fact that it has these sections here which allow your glasses to easily slide once it's on your head, okay, to slide in there into those slots. I've worn a whole bunch of helmets which really struggle, and you also almost have to bend the frame to get it into the helmet when you're putting them on. And with this one, it has like a sort of a slightly wider section, I suppose, where you can easily fit your glasses. So that's a really handy feature. Okay, so another consideration is how loud this helmet is, and overall it's pretty good. I feel with the glasses slots, it will let a little bit more air in, and it will get a little bit more louder than some helmets might be. But overall, it's pretty good. You'll notice I have a Sena S20 here, and it's like it mounts no worries to it. It has like no problems at all in terms of mounting the S20 on here, and yeah, it's all good. And then inside, I'm not going to show you now, but I've been able to find a spot where it's pretty good for my ears. I have found a pretty decent position for the speakers, and yeah, and it works really well. There are some little cutout sections where you can just sort of slide them in there. Liner is completely removable on the inside. It's really comfy. Look, it's not the lightest helmet, but it's pretty light. I've had heavier helmets, and I think it's probably around that 1400, 1500 sort of range, so sort of tending on the heavier side, but not super heavy. And it's, yeah, it's a really good helmet. Some of the things that are not quite my favorite things about this helmet are when you do have this little notch here, it feels a little bit, I don't know, rough, like plasticky rough. It's not a super smooth mechanism here. When the visor is down, it's like the actual tinting is not too bad, but it does, for me, just makes it a little bit, how can I put it? It could have been darker, maybe. Just a slightly darker tint might have been handy for that internal visor. Look, I haven't really had any issues with it, and I think it's aged really well too. So it's one of those items that, you know, it's not the bottom end, but it's definitely not. It's sort of budget to mid. So it's where I like to live, and this helmet ticks all those boxes. Okay, so it ticks a lot of boxes for that price. Another thing that you might be asking is, how good is this outer shell? It is really very well wearing. Don't really have any issues with it. It's still quite shiny after a few years. I mean, I don't typically keep it in the sun, so I do look after it a bit. And yeah, it's stayed on quite nicely. It hasn't like detached or anything. It's a quality product. It does have the Australian standard ASN ZS 1698 standard. So in Australia, this is what you're looking for. It also has, I think I've seen that the newer ones have the ECE certification sorted. So, which I think you can now buy in Australia, whereas before you had to have the AS NZS standard. There you go. Wonderful helmet. I really love it. I'm going to continue wearing it. I am in the market for a new helmet, and it's because I can't really wear a Tron helmet on a Harley. It doesn't suit the image. So, and you know about Harleys, it's all about the image. I am going to get an LS2, getting a different model, just to try a couple, just to see what they're like, and you know, and then I'll do an unboxing of that one, and I'll let you know about those as well. And yeah, that's it, everyone. So if you have any questions or comments, please write them below. Can I ask you to please subscribe again? Great helmets, definitely recommend them, and excellent value for money, and that's what this channel is all about, great value for money. Okay, if I could just quickly ask you to subscribe, thanks, that'd be awesome, and yeah, I'll see you at the next video.